sometimes they can work quite beautifully together, which is, I like that, this hybrid sort of aspect of swirly sunrise. So you may have decided on long curly swirly ones. It's still fine. You just have to. Hello beautiful people, I am Tamara Laporte from Willowing Arts Limited, and I am here today to tell you all about Lifebook 2016. Wow, I can't believe that Lifebook is going into its 5th year. That is incredible. I can still remember when I first thought up the concept of Lifebook, well, way back in 2011. It's been a while since. We've really hit a landmark, no, a milestone, that's it. We've really hit a milestone here, 5 years, it's incredible, wow, amazing. So if you made it this far into the video, you really want to know a bit more about Lifebook, I think. So you really want to know a little bit more about Lifebook. I understand, because it's a huge project and a hugely fun project. So yeah, let me tell you all about it, and hopefully I answer all your questions. If you still have any questions after this sort of introductory video, do feel free to email us on willowing.arts@gmail.com so we can further help you with any queries you might have. Okay, so Lifebook has been going, just a little bit of background here. Lifebook has been going for the past 4 years, and we're about to go into its 5th year. It's a year-long mixed media art course with an underlying personal development theme, which is an optional aspect. So the personal development aspect focuses on finding more acceptance, compassion and love for oneself. It's my personal belief that when we are able to be more loving and kind to ourselves, we will become happier people, and when we are happier people, we are more able to help the world and help the world become a better place for everyone. So this is my secret mission. But like I said before, this is an optional element. If you're not interested in that side of it, then you will just be very happy to receive the wealth and the incredible amount of art projects that we offer on Lifebook. So you get a lesson offered, or an offering offered I should say, every week of the year, 52 weeks of the year, 52 projects effectively of some kind. Some are more in depth, some are what I call bonus lessons, or they sort of are slightly less in depth lessons so that you can take a breath and catch up a little bit on previous more in depth projects. But all are incredibly inspiring and lovely and beautiful and chock full of techniques. So you will learn to work with new materials, new mediums. You will learn a variety of mixed media art techniques. So my personal classes range from creating drawing and shading and creating paintings that include whimsical characters or portraits and faces, whimsical animals often as well, quirky kind of animals. And then the styles include collage and layering. I love layering. I do a lot of work with the depth of layering. So I bring in collage and I bring in materials like, I don't know, braying with gesso and markers and crayons and pencils and I don't know, I have like so many materials that I use. Acrylics paint and all kinds of yummy, lovely inks and lovely colors and that kind of thing. So those are my lessons, and I usually bring in, my lessons usually are focused on the thing I'm most passionate about in that moment. So I don't make my lessons years ahead, I make them sort of a month ahead of time, and you usually get the best out of me, my Lifebook friends, because I'm like usually bring in the thing that I'm super excited about. Also, what I like, I like bringing in really teaching you guys about color theory, but we don't do it in a boring way. We do it in a fun way. So I like learning, or teachers teaching, and very basic, okay, it's not sort of in depth, but thinking about color and composition, these kind of things I bring in. So I bring in quite a bit of technical kind of concepts and theory as well. But there's also quite a bit of, I work now more and more intuitively, so I like to bring the two together. So I try to bring in the more technical, intellectual or side of the creative process, as well as the more personal, emotional, intuitive side, and I try to like nicely marry them together. I always describe myself personally as an illustrator and painter hybrid, because I love drawing and illustrating, and I also love the looser side of being really a painter that mostly doesn't even draw but just paints, and the brush strokes and all that sort of stuff. So my side of things is where I like to bring these two together and see how they can really sort of complement each other and work together. So that's really me. And then this year we have an amazing wide variety of guest teachers who all are such beautiful, amazing beings. So we have people like Tracy Verdugo, whose style is mostly intuitive painting. Then we have people like Jane Davenport, who's back for her 5th year, and so is Effie Wild, so they're back for their 5th years. And Jane's approach is quite a bit more illustration, but combining with painting, similar to me in fact, but her stuff is quite different. Then we have people like Faith Evans-Sills, who will include amazing mandalas with layering backgrounds. We have Pauline Agnew, who does incredible sort of figurative but work, but is a painter more than an illustrator. Then we have incredible journal artists like Roxanne Cobold, or Bybun she's called, and Ray Missickman, I think that's how I pronounce her name. We have people like Jenny Grant, who's very grunge and very layered. We've got Annie Hammond, who will bring in her very talented 3-year-old professional artist daughter as well. That is going to be incredible. Then myself and Jane Davenport have decided to do a very cool collaborative thing for you guys as well. And myself and Effie are going to show you how to tag team art journaling. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. There's so much fun. Now the other things we do in Lifebook, and there's many more teachers that I haven't mentioned yet, but you can check out their biographies. We have Marybeth Shaw, who does abstract art, and I need to think of them off the top of my head. We have Yvette Newport, who's these people are, and Renata Laurie. These people do such incredibly beautiful work. So I can't wait for you guys to learn from them. It's like, just look at the teacher profile document on the website. You can read all about them and see examples of their beautiful art. Anyway, so what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so other things that we do on the course, I often include guided visualizations and meditations and calm relaxation techniques, these kind of things. We run one ATC swap this year, and so you can swap art with your fellow students. You'll be part of a large Facebook group where you will connect with your Lifebook friends, and people post their work there. And everyone is very supportive and encouraging. The feedback style on Lifebook and the culture of Lifebook is very much one of safety, positive encouragement. So it's not a place for competition or even harsh constructive criticism. We're not there to rate your work, like on a scale of 1 to 10. None of that happens there. The whole point of Lifebook is for it to be a wonderful, safe, kind, gentle space where you can explore, experiment and play with materials. And it's okay to share your insecurities, and it's okay to share your confusion about things, and everyone will be very kind and lovely to try and help you. And so for the last 4 years, this has been what's happening. So I can say that, yes, this does truly happen. There's no such thing there where people go, what do you think of my work? And then people go, oh, it's terrible, you should change the eye or something. None of that. lovingly supporting you to explore further. And there's a very big emphasis on helping you work with your inner critic, because, you know, we don't really need other people to be highly critical of ourselves, because we ourselves are usually quite highly critical of ourselves, and in fact it's quite stifling and it interferes with learning or with the creative process. So there's a big emphasis on Lifebook and in my lessons in general to try and work with the inner critic and get beyond this inner voice that says this is not good enough, this is not okay, I should stop doing this, I have no talent, that kind of thing. But also, we like to try and learn on Lifebook that we don't want to focus too much on the outcome. We want to focus on the journey there. And it's nice. Absolutely, I'm not saying that that we can't focus on, oh, I really want to make a nice painting. That's of course cool. But we're really going to help you as well with just learning and enjoying the journey there, the process, you know, playing with the paints, seeing what this color does next to another color. You know, how this particular material makes wonderful texture, this kind of thing. So there's a big emphasis on that on Lifebook as well. All right, so just technically, I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about how it really works and what you're getting and what you can do with the content that is offered. So the content is run on my Ning site in a dedicated private group that you will be given access to. And from there you can stream the videos, the weekly videos, and you can also download them. There's also PDF supporting the lessons that you can download as well, and you can keep all these videos on your machine forever and ever and ever and ever. Yes? And then, so you then are also part of a Facebook group where you can upload your work. We also have a Flickr group where you can upload your work and interact that way with people. So the way Lifebook is set up, so the idea, when I first thought up the idea, what I wanted was for people to create single pages every week or for every lesson that they could eventually at the end of the year bind into one book, hence the word Lifebook. Which then could become a really wonderful keepsake for the rest of their lives. And they could look back on, number one, their progress of their creative journey, and also they could look back on, if they were to take on the personal development aspect, they could look back on what they've written maybe, or if they've written a letter to themselves, these kind of things, and they could look back for years to come. You do not have to, again, work on single pages and bind them into a book at the end of the year. Absolutely not. But this was the initial concept idea for it. So I just wanted to show you, I do it every year, and I'm loving doing it every year. So because we're now still in 2015, I haven't bound my book for 2015 yet. So I've got 3 books for 2012, 2013, and 2014 that I'll quickly show you. So this is my Lifebook for 2012. It's got a stain on it, I still have to get rid of that. And we ring bound that year. And so you've got some of the pages in there. Oh, this is a pull out. So that's another thing we do. We do different kinds of shapes. You know, I play with different page sizes and shapes, and we make hidden things. Here's like several. Oops, sorry. Here we have several different like layers in that. Here's basically we worked on the inner critic this year here on this page, and then you got a letter to yourself, a positive letter to yourself, this kind of stuff. So here mandalas were included in the first year as well. And then in the second year in 2013 we did a Coptic binding book. This was Coptically bound, and then the pages got added to the double spreads. Let me show you. And then this year I decided that I also wanted to include photos of my family and things like that. And then we started bringing in, so in a second, so here we've got some pages here. Oh, sorry guys. And then it's hard to hold them up. And then here, you know, I included photos of me and my children. That was just a choice that year that I made. I also included printouts of paintings that sold. So that's this book. And then last year in 2014, I wanted to make a bigger book. I have a mix. So I have a mix of sizes of pages in there, and and again we Coptic bound, and I'll show you that. So here, for instance, so I've got sort of borders around these pages. Stand up, let's see, show you. And then, for instance, this was again a fold-out page. It goes that way. And then they're also large, so you've also been working on larger pages. So this is what I do at the end of each year. I bind my work into a book, a life book, and then I have them as keepsakes for the rest of my life. I really love that idea. And many people do it, and some don't do it, and it's completely cool, because that's the thing about Lifebook, you do not have to. There's not a lot of rules, other than be kind and compassionate to yourself and others. There are not a lot of rules. The lessons don't build on top of each other, so they do a little bit. My personal ones do a little bit, but most of them are standalone lessons, so you can dip in and out. It's like a big creative art buffet that you can just walk up to and go, I'll have a bit of that, and I'll have a bit of that, and yummy, that's nice. It's like that. There is no pressure to do anything. There are no stresses or shoulds or musts, apart from, like I said, please be kind and gentle with yourself and others. That's the one and only rule that I tend to go by. And then it's just there for you to enjoy and taste. It's like lots and lots of tasters, and you can do as much with it or as little with it as you like, as long as it serves you in the way that you want it to serve you. Yes, so that's what Lifebook is, I think, in a nutshell all about. I think I covered quite a lot. I'll just tell you something a little bit about the payment plans and the payment system. So there are a couple of different packages that you can buy. There are packages where you can buy some extra courses of my personal courses that are reduced in price. So therefore, if you buy it as part of the Lifebook package, you get it for a lot cheaper than if you bought them on their own. All my lessons from previous Lifebook years get released as a group, and some get us. So you have the Lifebook 10 editions, is what I mean. And again, you can buy them as part of the newer Lifebook packages. You'll check that out on the website. And there are also payment plans available for people. I really want to try and help as many people to come on the course as possible. As in, I really want it to be available to as many people as possible, regardless of your financial background, so we can make it happen. Because it's I get daily emails from people saying how much Lifebook has enriched their lives. And I really want basically to help as many people who want to come on the course, obviously, to come on the course. So there's payment plans available. Email us if you need any kind of special help. We will try and do our best. Yeah, and the basic package price this year is £80, 80 GBP. That's which is roughly about $120, I think, US dollars. Maybe about, I don't know, 90 euros or 100 euros roughly. So that comes down to like £1 or £2 a week. It's very, very little really if you look at the amount. The course value is so much more. The course value is something around, I don't know, $2,000, $3,000, I think, if you look at all the individual classes and how much each teacher would charge really for that. You get an incredibly good deal. It's like real value for money. And if it was me, I'd jump at the chance. I'd be like, what? Often people email me and say, do you mean it's £80 a month? And I'm like, no, it's £80 a year just for the whole thing. And they're like, oh, are you kidding me? And I'm like, no. And so, because usually every year Lifebook attracts a lot of attention and a lot of lovely, amazing people, we can keep the course fee down. If it was less, then we would need to up it. Anyway, so hopefully you can make it, hopefully you can join us, hopefully you love what you're hearing, and hopefully I'll see you there. Thank you so much for listening to this. It's always the bit where I'm just gushing and really sharing all my deeper stuff around what the purpose of this course really is and what it's all about. Thanks for watching, and I really, really hope I'll see you on Lifebook 2016. We're going to start with a big bang of self-love, self-appreciation, and therefore making the world a better place and having some beautiful creative fun in the process. All right, thank you. See you there. Bye.